talked a little bit this offseason out like this was your chance to get the ball a ton. 25 shots or whatever it was against Alabama. How does it feel for you to know you're getting it that much that often?
It feels good. Obviously, when you work so hard to put yourself in position to be successful, it's good for that work to finally pay off. Now my focus is on making sure I'm as efficient as possible with the shots I do.
Your guys' offense runs you out of the post, but you can also be effective on the short roll.
Yeah.
Is that dependent on what other teams have in, or is it what you guys are doing?
It's a little bit of both. Obviously, I'm doing really well, scoring really well in the post. I don't think it really matters what my matchup is. But typically if there's a bigger guy on me, or we see some other weaknesses, or depending on how they're guarding ball screens, we'll go in the short roll.
It's your third year with Braden and Fletcher. You guys are more experienced. How quickly do you make those changes now on the court compared to maybe last year and the year before?
Really quickly, and I think the biggest thing is just knowing our offensive system, what the coaches want. When you play with great players such as Braden and Fletcher, they adjust as well. So it's easy for me.
You've never lost a non-conference game. Is that even a conversation you guys have, or a thought that's in your head?
No, I don't plan on losing any game that I go into. So I don't know. I've been lucky throughout my career. I played on really good teams, so every single game I go into, I expect to win.
Alabama, pretty good test for the kind of game that Marquette's going to play as well. Is there a lot of similarities between those two teams?
Yeah, for sure. They both play really fast. I think the biggest thing that's going to help us is us playing Marquette last year. Their type of style. Again, you're going to shoot a lot of threes like Alabama, going to play really fast. Even their 5 shoots threes. So it'll be interesting, but I do think that Alabama really prepared us for that.
You guys have a lot of freshmen. This will be their first regular season road game. But how much does that Creighton game and the environment for that help them now, so this won't quite feel like their first one?
It'll be perfect. As you can, even in an Alabama game, you could tell our freshmen when they come in the game, they play really confidently. I don't think that'll be an issue at all, really. I think they'll be prepared as anybody.
Last 2 games, you've ended it at the 5, but you haven't started there. Why has that been what you guys have needed in those ones?
Yeah, it's a game by game basis. Honestly, I think matchup wise, I think that Alabama, it was preferable for me to play the 5 instead of having some more bigger 5s. But I really think it just depends on matchups. I don't think it'll always be that way.
With you getting the better of Cliff when you did, and I know they threw a lot of guys at you, but especially with him as a guy that's got the prototypical size at center, how do you think you can beat him? What are your biggest strengths in those kinds of matchups?
Just versus a traditional center?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I have confidence scoring on anybody in the post. That's what I've always done. So I think I'll be confident and efficient in those types of matchups. I think Cliff's maybe a little bit different, just because he's so athletic. Not a lot of centers are as athletic as he was. I remember specifically we had a play where I ISO'd from the nail, and I bumped into him to make sure he couldn't block the shot, and he still pinned my shot. And I don't think anybody else in the country is going to make that type of play. So it was interesting, but I think as the game went on, trying to hit him first so he just can't jump up and block my shot was really helpful. But I do think he's probably one of the better centers that will play athletic-wise.
Yeah, with the